I think what most people forget is that Warlock and Titan skating was something that somebody had figured out a long time ago. It wasn't something Bungie intentionally put in the game, if that makes sense. When you always start the game, any Destiny game, you get low mobility armor. And they do this on purpose. They're not thinking about Titan skating and Warlock skating as much as the players that figured it out did. They're thinking about the combat scenario and just the overall walk and jump height and how things are more fluent feeling, basically. And since Warlock and Titan skating required lower mobility numbers, a content creator a long time ago advised that never do the mobility. It's trash. You don't need it in the game at all. And then Ristophilis comes along and he opens up the door of mobility that nobody seemed to want to touch. And I'm going to tell you today, dudes, the power of mobility and why it's a beast tool to becoming beast. This is what I think about you resilience low mobility players. But us high dudes, we know what's up. Let's start with the speed difference. So 2 common values. One that I recommend is always 7 and up. Most people do 4 and lower. So 7 versus 4, we'll just do the walk test first, just to kind of see what the kind of speed from 4 to 7 is, basically. That's really it. So we take off, and you notice the railing on the right moves much faster than the left. It's that much quicker, and then we're already at the end with the 7, and then the 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.5 seconds behind in walk speed. So here's some different terrain on 7. Clearly makes the jump. Right one gets hung up before it can get up there. So you got to think about different types of terrain that are all around. When people think about skating, they only think about those flat ground surfaces pretty much, and you can still get around really well as a Warlock or a Titan when it comes to different curvatures and different types of concave on the ground and things like that. Here's 2 styles of fighting. On 7, I'm going to be more mobile, more jumping around, and then pay attention to just the taps of X and the overall joystick movement outside of my boost and how more fluent and faster that it is. And then on 4, I'm just going to be doing walking and then bunnyhop shots to see how I cover really no ground every time that I hop, because the mobility is so low that I almost feel over encumbered. Bungie intended this because when you get to in-game building, they know that you're going to be more accustomed and better at the game at that point, so you can move a lot faster in fighting and still kill things. So it's a much more just seamless, fluent experience with higher mobility. Now we're going to do the hop bunny shots. So here we go. 7 on the left, 4 on the right. 7 is almost to the staircase. Now we're at the staircase, and then on the 4, we're just now getting to the staircase. 7 is at the canisters. 4 is just now getting past the stairs, and now at the canisters. And I'm already off the stair set, about to hop back up, and I'm still bunny hop shotting. This happens all the time. You gotta think when you're not boosting, and you're just walking and just hopping, I'm just trying to get at that, and how much more fluent you are when it just comes to everything. Aiming isn't that much of a drastic difference. It's still a huge difference, but not nearly as much as like the walking and the strafing and the height and stuff like that. But it's still nice to have that, especially if you're getting blasted at by an ogre or a wizard. You're still going to be fast enough to keep shooting and be able to do strafe dodge while you're trying to get behind cover. Anything outside of boosting, it's better to be faster at that. You're never going to complain about strafing, jumping higher, and walking faster when it comes to combat. Now let's talk about some running and jumping with mobility and those type differences. So escape getaways, basically. Right here is a 4 mobility. We're trying to make this jump, and we can't not clear it. Not having this as an option is not a good thing. Like, I have to make some weird kind of like out of my way jumps just to get up there. And this should always just be an option for me to jump and just get on that, especially if I'm running and gunning, trying to get to some more ads or whatever, you know what I mean? With the fact that that always can hold me back, just, by not having enough jump height, is just stupid to me. Like, why would I want to go slower, not be able to hit as much obstacles, all because of skating, you know what I mean? Like, all because of something I really can't really do on console to begin with, and it's not that much faster. Here's 7 mobility. Boom, the lucky number, and easily mantle that, get up there. It's always going to be at my disposal. I can even clear it. I'm jumping at the same spot as I was on the 4 as well. Just way more better to have better options. Like, this is insane, dude. Like, I can go really fast when I'm not having to boost. And these, I'm not saying that you're going to be fighting like this all the time. I'm just saying it's always faster, that much faster. You can't even dodge this dude unless you're 7 mobility, because what you do is you max jump and then fall away right when you hit the peak of it, and he'll never hit you. Just stop being brainwashed over the skating, man. When you have this many type options and you're that much faster in game, ogres can't touch you, wizards can't touch you. I don't know if you knew this, but the harder the activity, the faster the enemy shoots and the more accurate they are, and of course the harder they hit, but they actually lock on a lot better and can actually hit you if you're not at the right mobility. And that's what Bungie intended. You have to think about it from the developer standpoint that didn't create the skating or know they created Titan skating, you know? They thought they created mobility, so when you hit in-game activities, these faster shooting enemies and targets, you're able to fly around and just maneuver like a ninja around the place, to be honest. I mean, it's just so fast when you have high mobility, but so many people are hung up on what somebody said a long time ago, man, about how it was crap because of Titan skating. And dude, don't listen to that, man. It's about the fighting in the game, not the skating in the game. And I promise you, you're gonna get there from point A to point B just fine without skating. You're gonna be still fast. But when you have to hop around like this in combat, I'm not saying that you're always gonna be fighting like this, hopping sideways and shooting your gun. I'm just getting to the point that you're going to be using these as tactics when you're not boosting. This is a shooting tactic people use. The faster that you go while you do things like this, you're not going to be hit by nearly as many bullets. You're going to be able to get around enemies a lot faster. They won't be able to melee you. You can back up. You can hit options like this. I wouldn't be able to hit this ledge unless I was at the mobility that I was at. A lot of enemies need to move around. Just my short hop is getting around fine. Now watch this wall. I'm just going to seamlessly jump on top of this and easily clear that wall just enough with the 7 mobility. 6 would have had to mantle that. That just goes back to how fluent your gameplay is without you even noticing it. You have obstacles like that that are easily just jumped over that you take for granted almost, especially if you're a high mobility player. You're doing this stuff all the time, but low mobility players are getting hung up on a lot more stuff than a higher mobility player is, and that is the subtlety that mobility gives you. This knight can't even touch me. He in fact goes away because I'm just moving around too much. When he even tried to swipe at me, but he missed because I strafed out of the way of him, hopping around this. Just he doesn't even know what to do because I'm just moving so fast for him. He doesn't know. Now he's gonna try to charge, but at that point he's low health. Just the short jump from here to here was that much quicker. You don't think about all these small things that mobility is always doing for you. Here's an example of something high mobility players can do and do all the time. Shoot the rocket, reload it, and switch weapons and shoot all in one jump. Early damage is always better damage because you're getting to target and able to shoot your gun a lot sooner just by having the more height options a lot of the time. Like all the levels I had there to kind of scope out and just hover all the way over there. Right here I can scope out this entire area to see where all the ads are before I make my decision on where this rocket's gonna go. Insane height. But people that have always been taught that mobility sucks, never get the advantage that it offers and never give it a chance, basically. I don't really know what else to talk about, just to go over a bunch of more of these situations where mobility is awesome, because it is. But try it out, the 7-day challenge. Tell me what you think after that. That's really all that I got for you. But hopefully this gift of light will help you out and carry you to the end. And what's in this chest is a whole new type of gameplay experience that you've never before seen until today. And that's the power of mobility. My name is Ristophilus, and I will see y'all next time
in space.